Hello, Jayanam here with a video on how to build the Unreal Engine 4 project from C++ source code. I had some requests to show this, so here we go. First of all, you need Visual Studio 2017. On this page you get this version as a free community edition, and the link is added to the description below. What you also need is the .NET Framework 4.6.2, the SDK. You can get it from this page. Again, the link can be found in the description. Just download it, it's a setup, and install it. Okay, then let's go to the Unreal Engine GitHub where you can find the full source code. This is the release branch, but of course you can go to any branch you like. The first thing you do is to fork the repository by pressing this button here, and with that you add an own copy of the repo to your account, which implies that you have an account. If you don't have an account, register on GitHub. And because I already did this, I can change now to the URL of the Jayanam Unreal Engine fork. And here I can get the URL to clone the repository. I open this panel and then I copy it to the clipboard. Then I open a command prompt. By the way, I have Windows 10 OS, and then I add a directory to which I want to clone. Then I change to this directory and type in git clone and paste the URL that I copied to the clipboard. And if you like coffee, then it's a good time to get a cup because you have to wait. And the time depends on the speed of your internet connection. Okay, I speed this up a bit. Now you execute the setup batch file. Here you can see it in the Windows Explorer, and this is the next waiting task because here all the dependencies that you need are downloaded. Perhaps you get another cup of coffee. Okay, after downloading, execute another batch file. Generate project files, which will, surprise, generate the project files for Visual Studio, so that you can open the solution called UE4 in Visual Studio 2017. So here it is. First I define the UE4 project as the startup project. Right-click and select it, set as startup project. And then I open this drop-down and set the configuration to development editor. I have a 64-bit Windows system, so I build for 64-bit. Be sure to set this in this drop-down. And then right-click the project again and choose build. That's the next long-running task. I don't know if you could handle another cup of coffee. Anyway, after that you actually build it. You can start your own compiled version of Unreal Engine 4, either by pressing F5, or you go to debug and choose start debugging, or you start without debugging, as you like, but now your project will start. Almost. Well, it could happen that at 45% the startup of the engine seems to be hanging. If this is the case, be patient, because when you open the task manager and have a look at the processes, you see what happens. The shaders are compiled when you build it the first time, and this takes a lot of time. But then it is completed and the Unreal project browser will appear. In the lower right hand corner you can see that the shaders are still compiling, but you can move on and, for example, select the project template. Okay, now you build it. What also could be interesting, I guess, for you is how to debug the code, how to step through it. A good starting point in my opinion is this file launch Windows CPP that you can find in the project folder source runtime launch private Windows. And each Windows application has a win main function. To that you can add a breakpoint. It is the first function that is executed, and you can do this by pressing this local Windows debugger, or you press the F5 key, and when the engine starts now, the execution is halted at your breakpoint. Now you can step through the code by pressing the F10 key, or you can step into the code, into functions for example, by pressing F11. Of course the code and the project is huge and complex, but if you invest some time you learn how it is organized and which code is responsible for which feature. I recommend as a first task to understand where a particular feature can be found in the project and try to debug into the code and understand it. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video. If you do, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions, then add these to the comments below. Follow me on my social media on Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, support me as my patron, and I hope to see you soon here on Jayanam.